Okay, so the first thing we got here is we have a helmet. This one it's meant to be like a keychain essentially. And it has one of those little metal ball kind of things like that you can stick on keys. And it actually is hollowed out. So you actually could put it on a head, maybe for like a 12-inch style figure. The cool thing about it is that the grill is actually cut out. And so it's a really nice sculpt of it. And this is, you could totally, I was talking about taking things and shrinking them down before. You could totally make a sculpt of this, or a mold of this, I bet, and shrink it down and have a great figure, a helmet for a smaller size figure. So the cool thing about this is if you can find this, if you want to make your own figures, like when I had done the helmets that I'd recently done for these Rocketeer figures, I had to do a lot of that by hand. And so if you have something that's pre-made already, that's great. The next thing, and this is another great example, is the rocket pack. And this is another one that's meant as a keychain. And I think, because it's got the little metal ball thing. And then, yeah, there's some, on the back, there's like straps and things like that. So if you wanted to actually, again, make you could make a mold of this, and then you could actually use this for figures of your own. I mean, I think these are pretty much, I don't know if that's not exactly that's not to scale, because the helmet and the rocket pack are of different scales, but that's okay. This would be for like, I don't know, maybe like a 6-inch style figure, maybe. I think that would probably fit this one, but it's really well done. The detail and everything like that. You can even see like all the little rivets and things like that. And then the tubes are coming out of the rocket pack right there and here. And these little, whatever those are, these little blast shields. Yeah, just really well done. And if you had to try to do this yourself, like do this by hand, forget it. So you could take this sort of thing, make a mold of it, and then so what I've been talking about with mineral spirits is that when you're making the silicone mold, you actually pour a certain amount of mineral spirits in there, and I forget the ratios I use. I always have to kind of look them up, but you pour it in there, and then the mineral spirits will then diffuse out over the course of a couple days, and then it'll therefore shrink the mold. And then what you have is something that will shrink down. It won't shrink it down by half, probably maybe like by about a quarter or so. So you may have to do it more than once, but if you have something that is already sort of the right shape or sort of the right size, and you want to shrink it down by a few degrees of magnitude, then that's a pretty good technique to use. I think you could definitely do it with these. These are quite well done. And then so we have this little stand. So this one is, I don't exactly know what this is. It looks, oh, you know what it is? It's an Art Deco display kind of thing of the movie poster where the Rocketeer is taking off, and it's done in that Art Deco style, and it's meant to just sort of stand up like this. That's really pretty cool. It's like a little display kind of thing, and it's made of. It looks like it's made of some kind of. It looks like metal. It has a metallic paint on it, but it's made of some kind of soft plastic, but it fits together, two pieces. Anyway, these things are obviously supposed to fit in a little ball, a little capsule. So these would fit quite well, either of these things. And now here for the piece de resistance here, we have the figure. All right, we got 3 parts here for the figure. And so we have the legs, and again, it has to come apart, right? The figure has to come apart to fit in the capsule. So we have legs that are separate, and then we have some boots that go on here. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Wow. God, I would have killed for something like this as a kid. It's so well done. It's so well done. I can't get over it. Yeah. And again, this is one of those ones where if you wanted to make your own figure, it doesn't move, right? So the pieces are, everything is, it's in PVC or something like that. And everything is in place. The nice thing about that is it's very bendable. You don't have to worry about this sort of thing breaking. And you could, of course, take it apart if you wanted to fit it into a smaller case. But if you wanted to use elements of this, like the head and the pack, I think in particular, those are much more difficult to do. Or if you actually wanted to do the chest piece, you could actually take this and make a mold of it. And it's so easy to do because the pieces are already segmented, right? So you could actually make, if you wanted to use this, you could actually make a mold of this part right here, just like this. Maybe this part right here for the head. You can make a mold of this, or the whole thing together would be a little bit complicated. If you had to figure a second one of these things and you wanted to, say, cut it up, like cut off the arms and stuff like that, you could have a really good mold with just the torso, and then put your own arms on it, and then again a different one for the head. But that's assuming that you want to do that. I mean, this just by itself, does it stand? Let's see. Yes, it does. Yeah, so it's a position of the Rocketeer. He's looking to his right. He's got his pistol in his right hand. It's kind of like towards the end of the movie where the Rocketeer is just about to take off, and he's kind of looking back at the Griffith Observatory before he starts to fly away. So kind of referencing that scene, I imagine. But the detail on it with all the buttons on the jacket, and then the straps that go in and out of the leather jacket are really nice. And then, of course, a lot of the details on the pack itself. Not as detailed as this one, but I mean, it's smaller. It's like 3 3/4 scale. And then the helmet, of course, well done. Yeah, so these, so I don't own any of these Gashapon type things, and I didn't get this out of a vending machine. I just bought all four. It was a lot type thing where they had all four of them. I got all four of them, and I'm really glad I snagged it. So if you can find them, I found one. I found this on eBay, and if you look around, I just typed in. Well, I guess I didn't look specifically. I don't know if I looked specifically for it. I found it by accident. I don't remember. But if you type in Rocketeer Gashapon or Rocketeer Capsule Toys, or Google it, I mean, because I mean it's available obviously out there, and I bet you'll be able to find it. So what I'm going to do, I'll take some pictures of these and put them up there as you go along with the show notes.